but it's pulling you in all directions. You don't know how much longer to take it, so you learn how to fake it. That smile on the outside's fading fast, like the things that you thought for sure would last, but they didn't. You know something's missing. Is it your life you're not living? Your heart is cold, your soul is numb. You don't like who you've become. You play the game and bear the cost along enough. So grab the reins, take the wheel, lose what's not and keep what's real. It's not too late, just close your eyes and feel. You can't tell if you're happy or sad. Can't tell the good from bad. You're senseless to waste your senses. Maybe stop thinking with your head. Start using your heart instead. Just try it. You just might like it. Aren't you dying to start living? Your heart is cold, your soul is numb. You don't like who you've become. You play the game and bear the cost along enough. So grab the reins, take the wheel, lose what's not and keep what's real. It's not too late, just close your eyes and feel every breath that's going through you. Take each day that's given to you to love back the ones who love you. Yeah, yeah. Your heart is cold, your soul is numb. You don't like who you've become. You play the game and bear the cost along enough. So grab the reins, take the wheel, lose what's not and keep what's real. It's not too late, not too late, it's not too late, just close your eyes. Your heart is cold, your soul is numb. Play the game alone. Everybody follow your own direction.
Welcome back to a fairly brief, probably part 2 of Chicago, the post-Terry years. We've had a fun and entertaining and hopefully illuminating night so far, but let's carry on where we left off, which was with Free at Last from this little album here, because we didn't get very far into it, and the whole thing's worth hearing. So, yeah, let's do that thing. Couple of albums and eras we haven't touched on so far, but generally we've been across the decades of what they've had to offer us. They certainly made a lot more consistently great music between 69 and 77 than they did afterwards, but hey, you can say the same of most bands who recorded in the 70s and tried to live up to it in subsequent decades.
The fulfillment of a dream I've always had. I tried to make the body last all night, working like a dog looking for a fight.
I think you're right, Bostar. Should probably play a song from that because it's an interesting album and one I quite like. In fact, I like it a lot more than 18 or 19.
Living on the highway, halfway on the way to hell.
But I think my Robert Lamb bias is probably quite obvious by this point. Is that a fair suggestion? Which is why Born for This Moment was so disappointing, because he's all over this one as well. It's just the songs aren't great, in my opinion. But I do really like this. And I've never been a radio listener, but this was actually BBC 2, or Radio 2's Album of the Week when it came out in 2014. Not that that led to it selling an awful load of copies, but you know. Nobody complains about airplay if they get the choice over having it or not. And speaking of Robert Lamb, when Chicago toured, they did 2 shows in New Zealand in the early 2000s. Robert also did a solo show in Auckland at Sky City, which was called The Leap of Faith, because he did a bungee jump off the Sky City building. Not for the show, but anyway. I got tickets to that show, and I got backstage afterwards and met him and Jason, Keith Howland, Lee Lucknang, Tristan Bowden, who I haven't really spoken about because he's not my favourite drummer in the world, but he is one of my favourite people in the world. Absolutely delightful guy. So the beauty of physical product is you can actually see what's going on. So this is a co-write between Robert, Keith Howland on guitar, and Tristan Bowden. And you've got Keith on guitar, Robert on lead vocals and keyboards, Jason Schiff on bass, Tris on drums, and Walt's not much on this album, but you do have Lee and Jimmy on trumpet and trombone, with Ray Herman on sax instead. But Trent Garner's on additional trombone as well. So there you are. In this case, Bostad, it wasn't exactly a case of getting backstage. It was more a case of leaping on stage, because I wasn't going to not meet these people, given that they were there. And I'd been in touch with the people arranging the concert and the filming of the DVD. And I had my mum with me, who of course got me into Chicago in the first place. So now, let's head back to Chicago 16, which it opens with What You're Missing, which is co-written by then future and now obviously once and current Toto lead vocalist Joseph Williams. And then the second song is the one we're going to hear, Waiting for You to Decide, which was co-written by David Foster with David Page and Steve Lukather. It's my favourite song from Chicago 16. It's not a coincidence, is it? No, it isn't. So, yeah, Luke's on guitar on this, and I think Page may be on some keyboards as well. Not 1000% sure on that, but hey, Waiting for You to Decide. This was, of course, the same year as Toto 4, which, of course, opens with Rosanna, which has Jimmy Pankow from Chicago on trombone. So they really were all over each other's stuff in these years. Yeah, you can see why I've don't know if any of you saw my post on the page a while ago that has my Cujo logo with my fantasy band, which is basically the Chicago logo but with a band name that is named after a dog, like Toto. I'm very proud of that logo. I just had to find a way to use it now. Like I said, I have kind of in retrospect already, but yeah. And this is a good example of Peter and Bill Champlin's voices blending really nicely. It was painful sometimes, as Karen mentioned earlier, hearing Bill sing the older songs, but what he brought to the studio for the new stuff was some of the highlights of the 80s era for me. All right, now the final kind of mini era that we haven't yet touched on, which we're about to, comes from the late 90s, where every year Chicago would do a convention and then every year announce, this year we're going to record the new Chicago album, and everybody would applaud, and they never did. So 1997, you get The Heart of Chicago, which has 13 hits and 2 new songs. They followed that up in 1998 with The Heart of Chicago Volume 2, which has 14 old hits and 2 new songs. And then in 1999, they followed that up with a live album that has 10 live versions of old hits and 3 new studio songs. One of which is a cover featuring a guest vocalist who will be known to at least somebody here. So I'm going to use that song to represent this little mini failed, disappointing era. This is a decent version of the song, and the singer would mine similar territory in a couple of quite successful solo albums afterwards. You probably already know who I'm talking about, don't you? The song is Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher. Oh, I don't know that I can do justice to any Chicago songs, Evan Dave. Mind you, I don't know that I can do justice to any songs. Oh, Bostart, while I've got you, are you around tomorrow at all to maybe do that Paul McCartney thing that we have previously discussed? Yeah, Michael McDonald, indeed. And this was a piece of kind of bizarre cross-promotion because this album was released on Chicago Records. And Michael's Blue Obsession album was kind of distributed through them. It was quite weird. I didn't fully understand it. I don't know that they did either, to be fair. I'd like to point out that neither of those albums charted anywhere in the world. We won't be here much longer, Karen, but yeah, you too. Thanks for joining us and have a fantastic show with the band as it stands tomorrow. Yeah, sorry, Bosta. I was supposed to be recording with somebody else, but they've just gone silent on me, so it's not sure. It would have been a first timer to the channel. So up to you if you'd like to do. I could do late morning. If you feel up to it, we will. If you don't, then that is also fine. Let's do 3 o'clock, and if anything comes up that makes it not such a good idea, just let me know, that's fine. Otherwise I will see you then, after the end of this obviously. So, as Bostart had pointed out, the only full-length proper Chicago album from this era that we haven't yet touched on is Chicago 21 from 1991. So we're about to rectify that with a track that, if producer Ron Nevison had had his way, would have been the album opener. But record company interference intervened and they said, give us another ballad and put it at the top of the album. Yeah, so that's Not that song. Yeah, this is another Jason Chef song. Again, not exactly a rocker like 70s Chicago rockers, but certainly more up-tempo than Explain It to My Heart was. This is If It Were You. Ron Everson also did an original mix of this album that was rejected by who? I don't know, the record company, the band. It was so much better than what actually got released. But what can you do? That's cool, Bo. So I'll look forward to that. 1984 action movie. Yeah. It definitely didn't see them entering the 90s with a new sound, did it? But this album deserved better than it got. It did have the horns coming back into the mix a lot more strongly on the previous two albums. It was mainly written by band members, whereas the first, Chicago 19 was 50% outside writers. From here, I think we will turn to the late 70s for a Jimmy Pankow tune, who kind of went missing in action at some point in the mid-80s. He had a couple of decent contributions to Chicago 17, but after that, very little. Whereas until that point, he usually only had one song or maybe two songs per album, but they were almost always highlights. Ron Everson has some faults and weaknesses as a producer, but I think I probably own more albums produced by him than any other producer. So he must have done something right. Alrighty. Now, I'm not going to play it, but Will You Still Love Me is probably my favourite of the big hit 80s ballads. Um, yeah, but let's play a deep cut instead from the 70s. This is the album that closed the unlucky Chicago 13, which was the first album to miss the top 20, just made number 21, and their first not to go platinum. Got stuck at gold, which of course was miles better than Chicago 14 managed. Anyway, this is Runaway. Now, Evan David, Thin Lizzy, I have just never quite clicked with them, and they're one of those bands who I feel I really should like, but what can you do? That says this is an amazingly rocky song for one written by a trombonist. Yeah, he had form for that. And Jimmy was kind of showman of the band, I guess you could say. And he liked to show off his chest. Nothing wrong with that. The half of the recommendations were stuff. I might have to check that out one of these years. I definitely wouldn't have predicted that, Bostart, that Chicago 13 would be the album of the night. Mind you, we had 2 from 14, so I did sort of think that those first 3 albums, Hot Streets 13 and 14, would be heavily featured because none of them are the best Chicago albums. All of them are quite a bit better than their reputations, and certainly a lot more interesting than most of what followed. It's in my way of thinking, at least. So we'll actually go from the closing track of 13, written by Jimmy Pankow, to the opening track of Hot Streets, the previous album, written by Jimmy Pankow, and their first single after the death of Terry Kath. But just before we do that, some say the band should have broken up when Terry died, and I don't particularly or necessarily agree with that, but I do think they should have taken a break, because what happened is Terry dies in January 1978. They're recording the next album by May of 1978, by which time, of course, they've gone through masses of auditions to find a guitarist to replace him. I mean, how do you replace someone who's the musical leader of the band, the one guy everybody really looked up to, musical powerhouse, incredible vocalist and strong songwriter as well? So it's not just we're looking for a guitarist, looking to replace all of that and your band brother. They really needed more time. The fact that these albums are decent is better than they really had any right to be. That's my thoughts on that. But on that note, let's go to the opening track of that first post-Terry album. And this is a love song kind of thing, but is it slightly bad taste to have your first song after the death of your guitarist called Alive Again? Discuss. Oh, you're speaking of Chicago 13. The one you mentioned from there earlier, Karen, has just snuck into my my next 20. So we might get that one in. I'm going to play one song before that, after this. Another hit, for a couple of reasons. But yeah, Love Lives On is a rather lovely ballad. Also a Jimmy Pankow tune from this one. Which, apart from Lee's song America, which is a bit corny, is really a very, very strong album. They could have had a few more in the past 25 years to my mind, but I'm grateful for what we've got. Evan David, I don't know if you've noticed, but Sean is going through the Arion albums for River at the moment. And most of those albums are doubles running over 2 hours long. So, I mean, I would say, if you're going to give him something like that, don't give him a write-up as well, but you can get him to do the album. You can at least ask the question. I mean, Karen, it's hard for us to imagine. I mean, this is before I was born, because I'm a young person. But how much was the news even reported at the time? Or how aware were you of what was going on? Well, there was a treadmill, Bostar. I mean, write, record, tour, write, tour, record, etc. And if you do suddenly stop for any length of time, then you've got a whole organisation who are sat around doing nothing. And are you keeping them on a retainer or leaving them to go elsewhere? Yeah, it's difficult. So I'm going to take us to another more up-tempo 80s song. I mean, this is 78, but we're heading back into the 80s in a second. Mentioned in this book by drummer Danny Serafin. I won't go into the full story, but he was away from the recording sessions for Chicago 17 for a time by mutual agreement for personal reasons. And when he comes back, he hears a rumor that somebody else is playing drums on a track on the album. That person remained uncredited on the album, but it sure is him. And we used to debate this vigorously um, on Chicago forums in the early 2000s. I mean, I knew who was playing drums on this song, no matter what people said. And I was right. So anybody who knows me knows who it is, probably. But let's hear the opening track of Chicago 17. Quite late on in the night to be saying, "Stay the night."
I don't want you to misunderstand me. I just want to say what's on my mind. No need to hit me with an attitude, because I haven't got the time.
It's Jeff Porcaro of Toto on drums on this, Karen. What he knew about what Danny had been told, I do not know. And I'm sure I mentioned before I don't know if you can call them fun facts when you're dealing with a widow, but Terry Kath's widow ended up remarrying quite soon and married a young unknown actor called Kiefer Sutherland, and these days is married to Jeff Lynne. What any of that means, I don't know, but it's just interesting. Oh, you've seen CTA. For those who don't know, yeah, California Transit Authority, I was just about to say, was Chicago, originally the Chicago Transit Authority. And many years after his firing from the band, Danny got back into the drums and set up his new band, playing old Chicago stuff. And I would love to have seen him, but I can't see that he's ever going to travel outside of America to play, sadly. If you do try to get Sean to do that, Evan David, don't let on that it was me who told him that you should try it on, because he might not forgive me. Yeah, Bostart, the reasons behind Danny's sacking I wouldn't believe anything any of the band members who are still in the band would say about it, to be honest. We will never quite know, because the one person who might have told Danny the truth about it, which is Robert, tried to do so, and by that point Danny just hung up on him in a fury. So he mentions again in this wonderful book that he regrets that now, but hey, he did at least join the band for their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even if the speech he made was cringe-inducing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is a song Karen mentioned way, way, way back. And Chicago 13, which is the album of the night, as it turns out, is the second Chicago album to have at least one song penned by every member of the band. And this is by their percussionist, who kind of joined in the mid-70s. So the first lineup change the band had was to actually add a member. And I've never been able to say his name. Lauda de Oliveira is what I'm going to go with. Yeah, if anybody knows better than that, tell me. This is Life is What It Is. Another great lead vocal from today's birthday boy. So I think after this, kids, will just have a couple more songs to wind us up with, and we will finish with that soppy ballad you mentioned earlier, Karen. Because why not? Some people think that this period of Chicago is ballads and nothing else, but I think we proved that wrong over the course of the last couple of hours. Gosh, it has been that long. Lauda de Oliveira. At least I had, when I got the Chicago at Carnegie Hall album, which is the first time I heard most of their names pronounced, I found out I got most of them right over the years, so that was good. Most people know Peter Cetera, but Walt Parazada and Jimmy Pankow and Lee Loughnane are trickier names. Barry Kath and Robert Lamb are fine. Most people can cope with that. Danny Seraphim. Speaking of Danny, we'll have another song of his between this and our final track for the night. From this album. Can you tell these album covers apart? Well, One's a thumbprint, and one's a I don't know what that is. It's not really a chessboard. Yeah. Some Chicago logos work better than others. I do like this one though. Oh, I'm going to have to listen out for that, Karen, because you'd know better than I, but I don't know that I ever really picked up on Robert's Brooklyn accent, or that he lost it. I mean, I know about losing accents. I've lost mine. All right, so that's going to be our final selection from Chicago 13 for the night, but let's move to our final selection from Chicago 14, which is a single from this album, which, as I say, the album only made number 71. The single did slightly better. It reached number 56. It was, again, lyrics by Danny Seraphin. Originally, it was written about kind of the tumultuous problems that they were having in the band with management and various things like that, and was inspired by him traveling on a plane to have a very fractious meeting with Columbia Records executives, and the plane got struck by lightning twice on that trip. But then Robert and Peter got a hold of it and turned it into more of a relationship-based song, which was maybe a little bit safer than having a song on your album telling that your bosses that they're rubbish. But as it turned out, they left the label soon after anyway. But this is Thunder and Lightning, and it finishes with a trombone solo, which is not something that you would get in a Chicago single ever again. It's got a Robert Lamb vocal, which should not get in the Chicago single again, really, until, well, unless Field counts in 2006. How Brooklyn-y does he sound on this, I wonder? Just to say, we have been getting that copyright notice again, so this time round, if we happen to go down before these two songs are played out, that will be it for the night. In interviews. Right. That makes more sense. So, Evan David, I take it you can hear the difference between these first few albums of this era, where the horns are still really prevalent, and then the later years where they sort of pop up for a blip here and there, maybe, if you're lucky. And here's that trombone solo. from Jimmy Pankow. And we're about to hear a rare writing contribution from him to wind the night up with. This is from this album in 2014.
What was I to you?
Is Jason Schiff for the last time tonight. Now the interesting thing about how Jason came to be in the band is he heard that Peter Cetera was leaving and had the idea that Peter might need songs for his solo album, so submitted a song that he'd written with Bobby Caldwell called Heart of Mine, which Chicago passed on. Boz Scaggs later recorded it and had his last top 40 hit with it. But they contacted Jason and said, we like the voice. Do you play an instrument at all? And Jason said, well, yeah, I play bass. And they were like, And so he became Peter's replacement. I mean, I don't think he'd even considered for a second that when he sent the demo in.
The path that follows has no limit. Everything we do goes beyond. And even what we leave behind us, someday will come back to find us. I'm telling you that we're that strong. What we had is never gone.
Well, Evan David, that's fair. I hope that when someday, I don't know when, we do a part 1, which is the early stuff, that you do rush out and buy all of it. But yeah, I mean, this is no. Oh gosh, I was about to say there's no Magnum, but I don't know if. Well, I'm sure nobody else has picked up on this. The news broke yesterday that Magnum will release a new studio album next year, made up of songs that Tony had written before he died, curated by his daughter. Wow. I had hoped that something like that might happen, but there'd been not even a whisper of it until that came out yesterday that they were going to be playing a festival next year, and it was kind of snuck into the announcement for that, very quietly.
What we had is never gone. Love lives on. So go on now.
Yeah, I believe so, Bostart. I don't know if Tony's going to be on it as well from stuff that he'd recorded for demos, but it sounds like Brandon is going to be the main guitarist on the album at least. You've got to believe, Karen. Yeah, if we don't get taken down, we could squeeze one more in, given that this has 14 tracks and only a few of them are good, and that is one of them. Where is it in here? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that would give us a neo lead vocal as well, which is something that we haven't had. So I retract that this is the final song of the night, unless we get taken down. We'll go one more. Well, thank you, Karen, for joining and for your suggestions from this era as well. They've been songs that I mostly would have picked as well, but I had a lot of choices, so you helped me narrow them down, which is great. I think we've done justice to this era. Like I say, I mean, if I wasn't a complete Chicago diehard, I would have at some point said I don't need all of these albums, but I like them for what they are. Apart from the couple that I really don't like at all. And so yeah, just one final song with the newest and probably final lead vocalist for Chicago, Neil Donnell, if that's how you say that, from the most recent and probably final Chicago album. This is You've Got to Believe, and this time you do got to believe that this will be the last song of the night. It's only a short one, just over 3 minutes, and it sounds like this.
I like the feeling I get with you. I'm all about it, but from my point of view, we're taking chances and breaking rules. 'Cause without
We've done 27 songs? Wow. I didn't know that we were going to achieve anything approaching that number. So thank you all for being here, Bostart, Evan, David and Karen, for all the time. I know we've had other people dipping in and out, and as I know these days, a lot of people will be watching this either live on their TVs or on replay, so thanks to all of you who do that as well. For anybody watching TV who didn't see the stat that Bostart posted in the chat, singer of the night is Peter Cetera with 12 lead vocals out of the 27 we've had. And a reminder again that it is Peter's 81st birthday today, so happy birthday to Peter, and thank you for all the music. And yeah, I'm sorry that you put your bass guitar down at some point, because you shouldn't have done that. You're the best bass player, or one of the best bass players, in the history of the instrument. Pretty good singer as well, to be fair. And next week will be something. It'll be it might be a theme night, but it won't be an artist-specific night, or it might just be a general free-for-all. We'll see what transpires. And even though I'm not massively keen on most of the songs on this album, I'm not sure what my chum Perplexio was talking about, particularly when it comes to his view that the production of this is completely unlistenable. I think it's fine. It's just the songwriting that mostly lets it down for me. But that is it for the night. Thanks one and all for joining me for some latter day Chicago, and one of these days we will get back and do the great early stuff as well. But until next time, it is, of course, merely bye for now, but not for long.